Wait, really? There we go.
Okay.
Cold in my basement.
Let's be honest. You can do that. We can't.
We can't.
I won't even wear a hoodie at home.
Like, not even in your own house.
No.
Let me come up in there and ask Scott and try to jump on some type of camera. Do you know I am from the hood? Idea. I'll never hear the end of it. I'll never hear the end of it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome to Facetious episode 141. What is this? Season 3, episode 37, brought to you on Monday, October 1st, 2018 at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Larry, a.k.a. Blue Man Rule, and I am joined, as usual, by my main Dammy, Mike, a.k.a. Scarfinger, a.k.a. Real Talk. What's up, dog?
What's up, dog?
All right. Now, look, this evening, we have the pumpkin spice queen herself back. Yes, I am elated to have one of the craziest, silliest, funniest, just wildest people on the internet joining us. It's none other than Elaine. Is it still ET? Is it E Striker? Is it ET Strike? I don't know what it is.
ET Dragon, because I was a nerdy kid and it was Enter the Dragon growing up because I liked martial arts. I was a nerdy and it stuck and it's been around forever. I can't let it go now.
There you go. There you go. So Elaine,
I'm stuck with it.
So Elaine, what have you been up to these past few days?
Look, man, I got these kids. Back to school started and I'm so tired. I know you feel me. I love the summer because in the summer I can roll out of bed and go to work, and I love my children so much, but like I don't have to pack any lunches.
Yes.
I don't have to sign any freaking papers. How many tests must I sign? Look, they're not dead. They're fine. Don't make me. They did great. It's an A. Why do I need to sign this? Right? I'm the worst mom. The PTA hates me. I roll my eyes at everything, and I show up to meetings on my Harley, and they just hate me like a lot.
Oh, that's not. Yeah, do you rev the engine just a little bit? I do
on my way out because my kids go to Catholic school, and I like being like, I don't like this. Okay, I am a rebel.
Oh man.
Besides that, I've been trying to keep my head above water with the beginning of the school year, basically, and playing video games. I do that.
Yes.
I am a rebel. These are my people. They are rebels also. But they can't be rebels right now. So I'm going to be the rebel.
I'm going to be the rebel, and I'm really cool, and I'm on this Harley, and I've got my Star Wars helmet. That's how cool I am. And I can,
No.
That's me.
Man, I tell you what. So, on the school tip, you're right. I don't understand how we live in a digital age, yet you sending me home so much paper.
Why do I get so much paper? It's stacked by I could make kindling for a house fire. Why?
No, man. No. Dude, what is that? What is the name of that? There's this app, and I can't remember.
Is it Dojo?
Classroom Dojo. Oh my God.
That too,
that is the worst. Have you had to deal with Classroom Dojo at all, Blue?
No. We use something else.
God,
okay.
It's so really
basically
stupid.
Classroom Dojo is basically the snitching app for your teachers.
Yeah.
Okay.
It basically is a point system where they can put everything positive and negative that your child has done all day. And I'm like, yo, at this point, like you just putting down every little.
Why am I turn off notifications on that app because I'm like, if I'm going to yell at my child, I am sure that he will give me a reason. Between the hour that he walks in and when he goes to bed. I do not need your reasons. Those are your problem, right? Unless he's punching someone in the face, I don't care. Like
and then you just need to know if his form was all right.
Did he start the fight? Did he finish the fight?
Right.
I need to know.
Right.
The jerk, did he deserve it?
Right.
I really am the worst mom. So we've got that, and then we got Google Classroom for the little kid. She's 6. Why?
Yes.
I don't know about that one.
So listen, we have one called Power School, which is similar where you can like look at their grades, look at their pending grades, and then they also have the Google Classroom. So for my youngest son who's in 6th grade, and they actually assign stuff there. They assign work there, and they can go in there and fill it out.
But you need to have a laptop in the house for a 6th grader. I forgot that it's 2018 and I'm old and crotchety. Okay. I forgot that happened to me.
Hey, Elaine, when we went to school, we actually brought our books home.
Word. And it was
you can't even do that anymore. It's like a foreign concept now.
Because they're like, it weighs too much. I'm like, you didn't care about my spinal health.
Exactly.
Right. And what I would do is I wouldn't even go to my locker most of the time. Basically, I just carried all of my books for that day.
Yes.
Because our classes are split in half. You had your homeroom class, and then you had the day split. So I would just carry all of my books for that day on me at all times.
Right.
No rolly wheel backpacks either. Let's be clear. You either carried them.
Oh no, it was clown
transport, right?
Clown top. It's for real.
Bro, let me tell you something. They created those because parents are suckers, and they would be like, okay, I would have my kid, blah, 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 blah. But then the schools outlawed them. Like, what's the point of me?
I don't.
Okay, like if you made these so that my kid would have less back stress, like, all right, cool. Like, let me buy one. Right. And they're like, nah, son, no rolly backpacks.
Only JanSport. They're in bed. Look, here's my conspiracy theory. The schools are all in bed with JanSport, and they want you buying that backpack every year because they get some kickback. There you go. There's my crazy lady in my basement conspiracy theory. Unbelievable.
2% of all backpack sales. Hey, listen. So I'm wondering.
All the black schools are going to be sponsored by Nike. Nike backpacks.
I mean, okay, yeah, that makes more sense because I was LL Bean, but I'm a white kid. So,
we ain't see no LL Bean anywhere in our neighborhood unless someone got lost, right?
The only reason why I know anything about LL Bean is like when you get a job and you got to order your shirts for your job.
They come from LL Bean, right?
And they come from LL Bean. But remember, that shit don't come from like local. Like you got to order that. You gotta wait like 3 weeks, and that's coming from somewhere else.
And it's embroidered with your freaking initials. My mother, I love her. I love my mom, but she bought me an LL Bean backpack because she wanted me to be real cool, clearly.
Right.
And it had my initials, like, engraved on that thing. So, like, clearly I'm going to have this till I die. But do you have any idea how nerdy? Just let me have a JanSport with a broken strap like every other kid, Mom.
Just let me get the plastic hooks. Who needs a metal hook? Who needs a backpack that small? Because the LL Bean backpacks are small, right? They can only fit half your books and maybe some of your folders, right?
The new thing is getting your kids some 31 backpacks with the embroidery.
And
it has to be embroidered.
How much is that costing, though? How much does that run?
It's ridiculous.
Is that rich people money? I don't even have that now because I got these kids' money?
These kids.
I don't. Look, my daughter got her stuff from Amazon. Like, I Amazoned everything.
I like to get everything from Amazon so my dog can get really pissed off at least 3 delivery people a week.
At least 3? Oh, my dog. Oh,
and make them run away from my home at top speed. There's a FedEx lady who's afraid of my dog. So she runs up to the porch. I have a German Shepherd.
That's why I say you need to clarify for people how large a German Shepherd is.
He's a 3.5-year-old German Shepherd with a very scary bark. And she literally gets to the bottom of the steps and like tosses it gently, like, and then runs. I've never seen a woman run so fast. And I get it. He's a jerk. Like, I understand. But it's really entertaining to be home and watch this happen a couple times a week. So yeah, I Amazon everything. It's like a show.
Listen, my jerk, but he's my jerk.
So is my husband. Same deal.
Right. And my dog, he is 40 pounds, 42 pounds of corgi nothingness, right?
Oh my God, just the fluffiest butt in all the land, though. It's all in the booty.
Right. And he like, anytime the doorbell rings, anytime, he barks like crazy, like the hair on his spine goes up like he's a cat.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? And he just, and he goes and barks. And then when you go and open the door, all he's just going to do is sit at the glass and look out.
Yeah, I just wanted to see it. I smelled it.
He was like, I'm just checking to make sure you good with me. Like, that's it.
I yell at the dog, and then my dogs, when I yell at them, because I have a boxer too, when they bark at the delivery person, I yell at them to stop, and they look at me like, I was trying to save your life. You are ungrateful. I think. Go in the next one.
Yeah, it's like that video where someone said it's like online arguments, and it's these 2 dogs on the side of this glass, and they are going at each other, like, rawr, rawr, and then the person opens the door, and they're just like,
I didn't do it.
Yeah. And then they both go their separate ways.
It's kind of like kids when you got more than one, because as soon as a parent walks into the room, Blue, you got to know. As soon as a parent walks into the room, they scatter.
Yeah, they're just like,
know what you're talking about.
I'm good. And doing a lot of scratching, a lot of hair straightening.
Who's hitting who?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're hearing things.
What you talking about? I mean, we over here listening to these hits in this earbud and his music. You know, that's all we listening to. That's the only hits that's going down. Yeah.
Blue.
What up?
What's that over your shoulder, dog?
What? This way?
What's that? What's that?
That is a Falcon Snuggie that I've had for 2.5, 3 years now.
Why do you have a Falcon Snuggie?
I have a Falcon Snuggie because when I went to go buy the Washington Snuggie, they were sold out at the NFL shop, and that's Snuggie.
Settled for the Falcons?
It was $5.
All right,
$5.
But like, why would you display the Falcons logo though? Like, what are you doing? I mean, Redskins. All right,
yeah. See, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So, you know.
I'm a Giants fan. It's all bad.
Oh, bless your heart. That NFC East is kind of sad to watch this year, isn't it? I mean, Philly is the only team doing something worthwhile.
I know. I have to live in the city and listen to that shit like every day. And I'm like, I know. You won something. And the only reason I'm cool with you winning something is because it was the Patriots that you beat.
Right. Exactly. I think we were all fine with that. I think as a country, we were all fine with that.
I'm a Giants fan. I was okay.
Yeah.
I want the Patriots to win.
No, why? They're literally the evil empire. They're literally.
I love the evil empire.
Oh my God!
Understand how great? I'm not a big sports fan. I keep up with what's going on, but I don't have a team. But I love the thing that everyone hates. Like, that's why I'm a LeBron fan. Like, I don't care which team he's on. I love LeBron because no matter what team he's on, everybody's going to hate him. Yeah, you're going to hate him. And like, the Lakers are going to suck this year.
It's going to be great.
And people are still going to hate them as if they're going to win everything. We all know what's going to happen. The Warriors are pretty much going to, as long as they stay healthy, the Warriors are going to win everything. But everyone's still going to hate LeBron.
Does no one find it funny that LeBron traded while he was in Cleveland this year for some players from LA just to go to LA?
Yeah, you got clear.
Does anyone find that?
He's got a big paycheck and shoes with his name on them. He's living the damn dream. I want shoes.
Clearly, I do too.
We all want that. He doesn't care.
Okay, let's be clear. If I want some shoes, I do not want Adidas. Like, let's just make this.
Okay, no, you're not. You are not wrong. Right? You don't want Adidas. I don't want New Balance because they say a certain thing about people these days.
I don't want Under Armour because they're gonna make the grandpa version of my shoes like they did Steph Curry, and it's just gonna be all bad.
Yeah. Look, I'm a like grungy, like middle of New Jersey, like wannabe skater kid. They're gonna be Vans if they're my shoes, like, right? Like, that's just who I am, right? That's or they're gonna be Nikes because I want to be really cool and fit in with all.
One of them. So, you want Vans? Vans, really?
I grew up with Vans. I was like, I came from a pretty like mixed, culturally diverse area, so I listened to either Nirvana or hip hop on the bus, and we either wore Vans or Nikes. There was no in between. There was nothing else.
Man, you had two extremes. You did not live life in between the extremes. You only lived it on the edge.
I was in the middle of the bus. I didn't know where. I didn't have a group. I just hung out with everybody. There's the hip hop kids bumping it in the back, and then the grunge kids with the flannels and listening to Nirvana in the front. It was great. It was the dream.
So how? Okay, you were in school when Kurt Cobain died, right?
I was born in '83. What year did he die?
What year did he die? I was in high school. I was in high school when he died.
Okay.
So that means she's only 3 years younger than us, Mike. So
yeah, I'm 35.
Yeah,
so I'm not that much. So yes, I was still in school when that happened. Yeah.
I was going to ask you to describe your experience. It was 94. Shit, okay. I was in high school in 94.
I was 11, so I was in middle school. All right. Yeah.
Maybe middle school is between 5th and 6th grade. Yeah.
Yeah. Middle school's a rough time, man. So.
Right. For a lot of people.
For a lot of reasons. So yeah.
Yeah, so you were talking about the grunge kids, and that's what made me think of like the day he died. There were people like falling out in the hallways and such. Like it was like someone like,
he was an icon.
Two-piece the president in the back of a whip. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's one. Well, I mean, like I remember Tupac and Biggie being very impactful for a different set of people, right? Like that was a big deal for a different set of people. But Kurt Cobain, the way he wrote his music, those kids latched into it. I was always, I kind of floated the middle on Nirvana. I liked it, but I didn't need that music the way that some people like needed it. They identified with it. Right. So those are the people who took that real bad.
Yeah. I mean,
the same way people connect to Tupac, and the same people. Yo, I'm gonna tell you, this is what you do. With people who are really into Tupac, right? They call him a revolutionary, and then you ask them one simple question, and then your Tupac fan will never bother you about Tupac ever again. What did he revolutionize?
But Mike, you always hate no. You always bring that up. He always brings that up because I've heard him bring it up now on Dream Team.
I'm just not a fan.
I know.
I was never a fan, but for a group of people, definitely that I grew up with, like he meant something. You know what I mean? It wasn't. Like I said, I always floated the middle on so much of this stuff because I grew up listening to classic rock music in the back of my dad's old like Chevy. You know, like that was just what we did. And so that was more of an identity. Take it easy, man. Bon Jovi was like more of an identifier for me as a Jersey kid, right? Like
I played some rock band on Saturday, and I've had "Give Me 3 Steps" stuck in my head. I had "Give Me 3 Steps" stuck in my head since Saturday.
There's certain classic rock songs, Eagles, Hotel California. Every time I hear that song, I'm humming it for days, right?
Right.
But, like the people who fell over themselves for Kurt Cobain, the different folks for Tupac, like they emotionally attached to that music because it said something to them or meant something to them as like kids, you know?
Right.
And it was those years were both hard for different people that I knew.
Right. And, you know, for someone like me who I resonated with Tupac a lot because, you know, I grew up in the hood and saw a lot of the same issues he was rapping about. So it resonated with me on a different level as it did for some other people. And that's why Mike's like, you know, I was really not a fan. I don't say he revolutionized anything. I'm just saying he brought a voice to what my reality was. So it didn't that's not revolutionary in any way, but it's more symbolic in a way. So that's why he always resonates with me and everything. So, but no, it's funny because when you talk about music, like I did a show a long time ago. It was a solo PYP, and I put down like the songs that kind of say the most about me in my life, right? And one of the songs was a Pac song, another one was a Nas track, and so. But when you ask people about music and what is really important to them and what speaks about them, you can learn a whole lot about them real quick. So that's the one thing that I really like about music, that it really shuts down. It really shuts down cultural or breaks down cultural barriers because then, you know, you can really understand people that way.
I think too, if people want to know something about how you grew up and you'd say, listen to these 4 tracks. I saw this shit every day. You know what I mean? No matter what your situation was, no matter what the artists were for those tracks, like, you know, that it's helpful. You can listen to lyrics and not sometimes when it's a third party and you're listening to it, it's easier to wrap your head around it than if I'm just telling you my experience and you're letting it roll past you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But see, I'm from Virginia, and like there's a balance where I'm from. Like there's a lot of the bad stuff, but then there's there's a lot of good times. So my experience can be encapsulated by today was a good day, but the video, because like today is a good day, and then at the very end of the video, everything's a problem again.
Right. Yeah.
That's my
didn't really make much progress in the
do you guys remember when music videos had meaning? Like it's not the same anymore, but when we were growing up, like you guys are within my age range, like music videos meant something. They told a story. They were like
remember when like Michael Jackson players used to be in events?
Right.
Like TGIF.
Yeah.
Video. Oh my God, TGIF. Oh, I feel so old.
That was my jam.
Remember when MTV played music? It makes us all sound like old, right?
Right. Exactly.
It's, you know, my kids will never know that. My kids
will never know raps.
My kids will never know unwrapping a new CD because they just stream it, right? Like that feeling of I remember buying that Boys to Men album. I have a weird mix.
Which one?
It's okay. Which one though?
First one.
Okay, Motown Philly, was that it?
I think
okay.
And I remember buying that Hootie and the Blowfish record when it came out too.
You know what? I'm not even mad. I like Hootie and the Blowfish. I hate the fact that
record is good. Okay, like
he's a great country singer too.
I think that he's wasted in country music. Like I think that his talent could go very far if he just made just put him in some straight R&B stuff, and I think
I was just gonna say
you know what I mean? Like put him in some R&B stuff, put him back with a rock band, have him do anything. This country stuff is just.
It's where his heart is, but it doesn't resonate with me as much. My husband really likes him with that stuff more because my husband's a country guy. I miss the R&B stuff. I miss Hootie with the Blowfish.
There you go. There you go.
That,
I missed the time when I thought he was Hootie. Yeah.
Right. He has a name. What?
Yeah.
Really? Like I thought he was Hootie.
Wait, no, but his name is
Hootie. Did we all? I could have swore he was Hootie. I thought if it was one person that was Hootie, that was him.
It would have to be him. It was not him.
It was not him.
Talk about a heartbreak moment as a young person finding that out and be like, it's like Samus is a girl. I've been wrong for so long. You know, just it's all very upsetting as a kid, man.
So that bulging chest plate was not just like extra protection.
Oh, lied to. All the girls were very excited. All the boys were like, "Oh, I have some soul searching."
It was a whole. I mean, it was a whole lot of egos being broken at that point, right? A lot of egos broken that day.
Under all of that, like really, like
right?
Look,
for real?
Come on, own that. She's a intergalactic bounty hunter. You wear whatever the hell you want.
Absolutely, I can't take her. So,
nah, man, I can't. I'm pretty tough.
Right?
I don't know.
I'm confident in myself.
I see. That's the way you got to be.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
I could take this girl.
I mean, clearly, from the beginning of the call, when you were talking about how great your eyebrows were, we knew from the jump there was no lack of confidence.
Look, he's got great eyebrows. I'm going to second that as a woman. Look at those eyebrows. Look at that evil eyebrow. It's built in. I am actually jealous. Do you have any idea how many women have to do a ton of work to get that?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
The same women that got to do a lot of work to get my eyelashes.
It's true. You are very pretty.
Hey,
I say that as a compliment.
I got this. No, don't even worry about it. I'm with you. I'm with you.
You cannot shake Mike's confidence. That's the one thing you gotta.
I love that. I love dudes like that because those are the dudes that don't cause me any trouble.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's the dudes with confidence issues that cause me trouble.
Right. Because you seem like when you grew up, you were really, really cool with the guys because your sense of humor aligns like that. Right. And so if you hit that sensitive guy, you probably been like, you know what? I'm gonna go over here and talk to James.
Like, the reason like all my friends were dudes is because they were easier.
Right, exactly.
Because they if they didn't like something, they would tell you
immediately.
Between them, they would punch it out and then get over it.
Yeah. Men are just simple creatures. Like
mostly, yes, not completely.
I think we are. I think we, as a whole, we never really evolved past the cavemen. Like,
we're going to agree there.
We never really evolved, and that also leads into the fact that men are disgusting.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we are absolutely disgusting. And I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being a caveman.
I'm okay. I prefer that.
I'm a refined caveman.
I don't want to have to unpack someone else's emotional drama. I have my own. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like a Geico caveman. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you're a well-dressed caveman with good eyebrows is what you're telling me.
Exactly.
And a well-manicured beard. So
get your boy some mango salsa.
Mango salsa. All right. So Elaine, since he just brought up food, you are my pumpkin spice guru. Listen. It's October already.
I know. I'm so excited.
Okay. So
my girl season is what it is.
Has anybody else sat down and went like, where did October come from?
I actually did because it's still 80 degrees here in the afternoon. Like I got up this morning and I'm like, I'm going to put on this flannel because it's 60 and these boots. And then I got out of work today and I'm like, I need less layers.
Right.
Hot.
It is.
So, yes, I'm a little confused, but excited.
It's been that way. But that's what I like about this time of year because you have to be forward thinking in your attire, right? You got to think, all right, at 3:00 it's gonna be a whole lot different by the time I'm outside. So
it's a lot of like worry to have to give when you're the type of chick who's like, I'm gonna throw this t-shirt on
and just
leave this house, It's exhausting.
People making fun of me the other day because it was 48 in the morning and I wore my leather jacket, right? It's a thin leather jacket. It's a real thin one. And then it was time to leave for the day. I hadn't been outside since I came in the morning and I put it on. They were like, Have you been outside?
No, I've been working. What have you been doing?
Mark in the chat said that it snowed there yesterday.
Where is Mark?
That's what I just asked
Canada?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
where is it snow? Well, mountains, I guess. But
you know what's the worst thing about Canada?
Wow, here you go.
How are you going to insult the? No, actually, I want to hear this because this is going to be good.
Okay.
Like, we are so like full of ourselves, Americans, that like, can you sing the Canadian national anthem? Like, how many times have you heard the Canadian national anthem? And like, I'll hum the crap out of it. Like, it's like, oh, Canada.
That's all I got.
One.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's all I know. That's all I got.
Like, that's the rest of it right there. That's the rest of it.
Nothing.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And then I know the end of it, like, oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. But I always say D's at the end just because I think it's funny.
Right.
This is why they won't let us in. This is why they're like, not stay down there.
It's like when 45 got it, like, we couldn't go to Canada. They was like,
no, you need to stay out. You stay down there where you belong because you're embarrassing us.
Right. Oh man, it's crazy. So I'm asking because we have a Trader Joe's here.
Oh, yes.
And I love pumpkin spice. And they have like 7 of the top 10 pumpkin spice items sold in the US, right? That's all they're about in this life. But my thing is there anything else pumpkin spice for you to try that you haven't tried yet? Because I think you've tried at least 30 items.
Like, I've been through almost everything. I started this. This was completely supposed to be ironical. I didn't actually like pumpkin spice. I was like, I'll get donations for Extra Life. And then the Stockholm Syndrome started. Montana. All right. Yeah, that's cold there. The Stockholm Syndrome started. Now I actually like that stuff. I found the, it's a heartbreaker. So Trader Joe's, they're the ones with the cookie butter, right? Do they carry? Yes. They don't have the pumpkin spice one anymore. This is the second year in a row they're not doing it. I'm heartbroken.
Really?
Yeah, I am heartbroken. Like,
okay. So here's the problem with carrying. Here's the problem with carrying that. The more of it you carry, the more white ladies show up and want to speak to the manager. So
it's true.
Like, I'm pretty sure at this point the manager at Trader Joe's is like, I'd rather be left alone.
Especially the one in Philadelphia. He's like, I can't deal with this. I don't want to deal with this because it's 2 blocks from my office, right? It's in downtown Philadelphia.
Right.
It's right in the tourist part of the city. And he's like, I can't do this today. I can't see the haircut today. Right?
Yeah, we're gonna cut down on this pumpkin spice everything.
Oh, but send me some. I just want a case of it delivered to my door. Let my dog get pissed off for a good reason.
Right. So it looks like Walmart has Alma-Ready natural creamy pumpkin spice cookie spread. 12
I haven't had that one yet. I'll have to try that one. All right, so you found something that I now have to go.
Yes, and then Amazon has Trader Joe's pumpkin spice cookie butter.
That must be like $40 a jar.
Let's see what it is. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it retails.
It's got to be 2 years old. It's vintage.
Probably, and I probably wouldn't eat that. Yeah, you're right. It says we don't know when or if this item
never coming back to.
Is aged. That's how they say it.
Aged. You're right. No, that's what men say when they're like, "I'm sophisticated and aged." Same difference.
Great. Yeah, exactly.
Salt and pepper.
I don't know that one.
But
I look. This is the reason I like this time of year the most is because I can wear a hoodie and drink hot coffee without sweating. Is really what it comes down to.
Right.
And I love fall.
And here's the thing, my son too, that's his favorite, my oldest son, but he's black. I'm like, you can drink as much coffee as you want. Please don't go out wearing no hoodie. I gotta tell him you can't go out wearing a hoodie.
Yeah,
bro.
No, you're not wrong, and that's unfortunate.
Yes.
Hoodies are the best, and it sucks. Like you just That's another rant for another damn day.
Well, we rant like that here because that's what we
go down that rabbit hole, and that rabbit hole is filled with bullshit. I can't with that.
Right. No, but I love it. I love the fact. I love the fact that you were all on this thing. Like you were all over this pumpkin spice game.
My stupid Twitter display name is currently Pumpkin Striker. So.
I know. I saw that. And if you didn't notice that, the subtitle of this episode is "Spicy Age of the Dragon."
That's I've been playing. I really like that. I do. Every year, my uncle sends me a Dune meme that says, "He who controls the spice controls the universe." Except it's a pumpkin spice cat inside of a burrito. All right. He saves it every year.
So I've never seen Dune.
Really? Did you read the books?
No, because like, okay, so like,
listen,
I have a few nerdy pursuits.
Okay, I know, I feel you, and they take up a lot of time.
But I'm not a nerd.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like a nerd.
You're podcasting on the internet right now. You know,
right?
that,
You
right?
do
You
understand. You do
in
understand.
Category.
Like, I have nerdy pursuits, but I'm not a nerd. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. I say that too, and
you're both liars.
No. I don't say that. But here's the thing. I realized, like, my older son said the same thing. He was like, "Man, I don't read books," and I'm like, "Bro, how many articles do you read every day? How many articles do you link to me, bro? You read. You just
don't want to look like a nerd.
Yeah, you don't read in a traditional fashion, right? But you read, you consume, and you take in information. And normally it's through in a reading fashion. And I know you read, Mike, because we send the links in the chat all the time. So it's like, yes, you know he does, because he comments back on.
I don't typically read the articles. I typically watch the videos.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
I'm an American. Like, you got, if you don't catch me by the headline, this is a wrap. Like,
I was actually going to make a joke about you being a dude, because my husband literally handles this crap the same way. Like, can I get a couple bullet points, or is there a video I can watch? My dude.
What?
I read a lot. I'm one of those. But yes, I know I married him. I don't know.
Look, when it comes to reading, I'm like, like, can you take these long memos, make sure that they're on one page, pictures if possible? I'm gonna need you to make this.
Can I get some bullets? Like, you're the dude at work where I send the email around and you don't read it, and then you come to my desk and ask me a question about it later. That's and that's fine. Look, I know the dudes at work who do that.
That's our chance to fellowship. You know?
Oh, I see what it is.
You fellowshipping now. You fellowshipping now, and
socialize.
Let's just say you cannot say that that's fellowshipping when you basically got the TLDR mentality. Like, B, let me just get a couple of points. Let me get 2 sentences out of you. Can you summarize this in 2 sentences? No, man. I thought out that email. You know what I mean? Like, I took me a second to verbalize that thing.
Could you have taken less time?
Yes, but there'd be more curse words. Which one do you want? Like,
exactly.
I want
okay, we're cool then. Because usually when my emails go more than a paragraph, I'm thinking some things about your face that I don't want to say, because the company tracks my emails. So,
right.
I will use a lot of words, and people will go, "You mad, huh?" Super pissed. You don't want to. That's what happens at work.
So question. So since you know that about yourself, I've had to do this a couple of times. How many times have you composed an email and then just saved the draft and then walked away?
My dude, I do that on Twitter 4 times a day. When's the last time you didn't do that? At least once in a day. I do it constantly. Like, they're in my drafts folder, and I specifically delete my drafts folder immediately because I don't want it to accidentally send.
Right.
Because this is the world the concern that I live in. But I do it on Twitter too. I'm like, I could respond to this with meanness on the internet, and then I'm like, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to fight with people in my mentions today. You know?
My thing is, why on this green earth do people want to just throw out something dumb and stupid in a medium that requires so much, that is so hard to get nuanced? Because 240 characters is not enough for me to truly show you why you're a doofus. Right.
If I have to thread my tweets, we need to. I am mad. All right. I don't like to do that. Okay. So if the number of ways in which you're an idiot is so long that I need to thread my tweets, I'm done for the day.
Right. Exactly. I can't. And I thought about this a long time ago. I'm like, we need to have something just like Twitter where people can fire back with a 30-second or 40-second or maybe a minute, just verbal. You know what I mean?
I want you to consider how many racist rants would end up in your mentions if we did that. I want you to consider that. And I don't know that you want to deal with that.
But here's the thing. I grew up playing the dozens, dog.
A government run by 45? Bruh.
Yeah, we're not in a time where you want this in your
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, I'm not like everybody else. Like, I grew up getting talked about. I'm fine with that. The question and the problem is most people who dish that out can't take it.
That's very true.
So
100% true.
So let me fire back at you. Let me get back at you.
But are you listening to each other at that point, or are you just talking at each other, right? That's the thing about Twitter and social media, is that we do a lot of, and Facebook, we do a lot of saying stuff to the void
Right.
People scream it back, but we're not like digesting what they're saying. We're just getting mad in return, right?
Right.
We don't listen to understand. We listen to respond.
Correct. And it's hard not to do that because we're people and we are always thinking about the next thing and our brains are working. But it's also a really crappy way to interact with strangers on the internet. You know,
it is. It's valid.
It sucks. And I don't want more of it. I don't need more ways.
Yeah,
don't need more ways.
I barely check my Twitter feed.
You're smarter than me.
I live in my mentions. Like,
that's it. That's me. Because I got, I have, it's a newer phone and I didn't really adjust my Twitter settings until just this weekend. I'm like, all right, I just want just my DMs and I want just my my mentions
from people I follow.
Yeah, and that's really about it. And then I'm good. I'm done. That's all I need to see. I'm set. I'm set at that point. But I don't know. And what's funny is that for me, you and Mike, we're all pretty handy with the words, right?
Yeah.
We could probably get in there and do some serious damage.
You got eyebrows. He's got eyebrows. He's good. He just sends a picture of his eyebrows in different states of concern.
Right.
I love it. His eyebrows. See that? You have just show happy eyebrows, please. See, we can do this. We'll just clip them off at the eyes and we'll make all the emoji. All right, it's my new favorite thing.
That's greatness. That's greatness. So, Elaine, I know you've been busy. I know I'm probably going to ask you, are you doing Extra Life this year?
Yeah, because I can't seem to let go of my need to try to stay up for 24 straight hours and play video games.
Bless your heart. I always break it up. Over 2 weekends.
I did that last year. You're not. Yeah, see, I'm 35. I'm officially too old for this crap, right? Like officially. Like my bones are too decrepit to sit still for 24 hours. And yet I'm also stubborn and female. So here we are.
You're like, well, this is going to happen.
I'm Italian. We know what we are. Okay. Like, we're going to do this because I said so for no good logical reason. Right.
Any other reason it's superfluous like this.
Yeah, no, because I said so. That's what my mother would use as a reason all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Still her reason. So
still her reason.
I'm still afraid of her. So yeah,
what's funny? So you mentioned that, and it's hilarious because I think my mother, even though she is fully African American, I think she has some Italian in her because I'm going through a parenting class at my small group called Parenting on Purpose, right? Okay. And in that small group, they're like, "Hey, you really should." And I've done this all in anyway, but I'm imagining them trying to tell this to my mom. You should really explain your reasoning to your kids. I'm like, bruh, I never got an explanation why.
Yeah, how did you grow up? Like my mother would say, because I said so, and when you would backsass her, she would reach for this wooden spoon. She never hit me one time, just to be clear. It was
because you got at it. Yeah.
You're looking at this wrong. Here's why I do it. My daughter is a smartass. My daughter truly believes that she is smarter than me. The best thing that I do for my daughter is, here's where you messed up.
Right. No, that's
true. And giving her a laundry list,
a litany.
This is the reason. Yes.
In very cuss word punctuated details.
Oh, I'm not the only one who does that. Yo, my kids keep telling me we need a swear jar for me.
For you.
So, yeah, I'm terrible. But yeah, I do that. I do that with my kids.
My cousin, I live with my cousin. I lost my job a couple years back, and I lived with my cousin for a while. And he was about 10 or 11 at the time, and he said, "Why do you always cuss at me?" And she goes, "Well, the difference is, like, when I tell you to do something, you pretend like you don't hear me until I start cussing." Like, like if I say, "Can you close your door?" You act like I didn't say a thing. But if I tell you to close that MF door,
you hear me. That's funny because that works with
miraculously. You hear me.
That works with husbands too. It's weird how that works. It's like there's a filter there.
Right, exactly. Listen, when I was a kid, they literally took me to an audiologist or like not a speech pathologist, but really someone who just like does the ear testing and stuff when you're a kid, because they thought that I was deaf, but I have selective hearing, like for real. Unless you call my name, then I'm not going to pay attention to you, right? I'm out of there. Yeah. I'm out of there. And so now when I'm here with my wife, she'll just start talking to me out of the blue. And there are two other people in the house, two of the males in the house besides me, right? And she'll say it like 2 or 3 times, and she was like, "I'm talking to you." I'm like,
"You gotta be more specific.
Did you call my name?" Well, no. Okay, how am I supposed to know you talking to me if I'm 2 rooms away?
Women do not like it when you say stuff.
Here's the worst thing. I'm gonna tell you the worst thing. And like, I used to be married, and I might someday be married again. And then I work around a couple of women. The worst thing is when they start a conversation in the middle of the conversation and you have no idea what the beginning of the conversation was supposed to be.
It's true. We do that, and then we get mad at you for not following along. We do that because we started the conversation in our head. And then we do it. I will 100% admit I do that to my husband. He's like, "Where are we? When did we start this conversation?" I'm like, "Nah."
Elaine, please don't tell me. Okay, so I guess you do, because my wife, she has a running dialogue. Like, she has a running monologue where she will switch topics, but not tell me she switched topics.
Correct.
Okay, and I'm like,
yes, because we are multi-threading so much shit that we worry about. That's what it is. Like, it's okay. We can't. I can't control that.
Mark asked a question. He said, "Do you feel the need to reason with a child to have them accomplish tasks?" And then he put in parentheses, under 10. Yes. I believe so. I believe so, because like in order for my my daughter to pick up habits, good habits, I have to explain why I'm asking her to do certain things. Like, say, okay, I'm telling you to make your bed, but like, yeah, but you're just gonna be like, I'm just going to go back to sleep at some point. And no, you need to make your bed because blah, 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 X, Y, Z, blah, blah, and I do feel the need to do that because, there's a lot of tasks that you have your children do because it's building something in them, like instilling discipline. And all of this other stuff, like, but in some cases with my child, I have to explain why she's doing these tasks, or she's just gonna refuse to do them until until I scream at her basically to get her to do it. But if I sit down and I say, "This is why I'm telling you to do this," then it kind of clears that up a little bit. And then usually she just kind of goes along with it. Like, even though she doesn't want to do it, she goes along with it because, I explain myself and like, I try to be crystal clear to her as a parent because I am the non-custodial parent. And so I have to be like, no, I'm not just asking you to do this just to do it.
Right.
I'm asking you to do this because blah, blah, blah. And I always have to frame it as, I'm asking you to do this.
Jokes aside, like, I agree with you. Like, the more you treat children like small adults, the better they grow, and the more that they feel respected, they feel safe, and they do actually do the things that you want or think are important for them. The only condition in which I will tell them, "We're doing this right now, we'll talk about this later, you need to do this," is if it's a matter of someone's safety.
Right. Yep.
And I do not have
urgency
to explain. That is my we will sit down before bed and we will talk about it. But if it's a matter of your safety right this second, and I don't have time to have this conversation, because I said so has to be good enough until later.
Right.
So
I'm sorry.
And I do a lot of I'm explaining this to you now. You are not going to understand. But when you do, I await my phone call.
Yeah, and I called my mother last week. It'll take about 30 years. Give it some time. But yeah, it happens. Like, I've definitely called my mother in the last 10 years and apologized to her for being a jerk as a child.
Right.
So it's like, I get it now. I see why you were so worried all the time about these things I thought were stupid when I was a kid, right?
Right.
My mom worked nights, so it was hard for her because she was so tired during the day. Like, having long involved parenting discussions really had to be held for things that really were important, She was so damn tired. My parents essentially worked shifts. I try with my kids. I don't always have all the patience, People who know me know that about me.
Yes.
Okay? I try. I count backwards from 10 a lot. But I do feel like I do treat my children like they're tiny adults who can handle it. You know what I mean? To the level that they can handle it. Like they don't need to know all the details about every terrible thing that's happening in the world, but they need to know the broad strokes about why people are upset.
Right. Yeah.
Like, they gotta know. Like
it's some weird things that you have to do as a parent. Like I never thought, like the hardest thing for me this summer was explaining to my daughter that she can now get pregnant.
Whoa. Wait, woo, I'm scared of that one. I explaining to my son this last week why I was crying at the news was very difficult because he caught me upset, right? And I'm not going to tell him I'm fine because that's a lie. I'm not going to
right.
Giving him the broad strokes about why I was so upset and what that means for him and his sister when he's 8 and this news is, a very, very high level for him is hard. You're trying to find the right words. You're upset. It's being a parent's exhausting.
It is.
They need to give us like days off to sleep for this. I'm tired. Oh,
right.
God. But yeah, that's the stuff I never thought I would have to worry about or explain.
Right. It's crazy, but yeah, Mark, like I do the same thing. I explain to my kids, but I do that early on a couple of times. After that,
now you've made me mad because
and I expect you to retain it though. I expect you to say, okay, he's understood. He's like I often, even on my 19-year-old, I often got to go in there and be like, man, make your bed. Why is your bed still not made?
And they know better.
And I'm like,
better at that age. They're just pushing boundaries. There's a certain amount of that too. Like, sometimes they know and they're not doing it because they want to see if they can get away with it.
And I'm like, for real, man? Like, come on, dog.
Don't push me.
So what I did the other day was because his bed wasn't made, he came in and he bought like him and his girl had some ppizza, right? So he had the spare pizza box and he put it on my side of the kitchen counter because I get ready on my side. There's a side of the kitchen counter I get ready where I like all of my medicines at and everything, multivitamins, allergy pills, whatever, So he had it over there. I was like, okay, your bed ain't made. So he went to the restroom and I was like, all right, cool. So I just put the pizza box on his bed. Make your bed.
My mother used to go into my room and take my dresser drawers and dump them on the bed.
That's how you do it. Look.
That's what my mother would do. And you would walk in your room and you would know you messed up. You would know because you would know exactly why she was pissed.
Right.
It's
like, oh man.
She used to do that when the bed wasn't made or when I left a bunch of clothes out all over the place. That was mom. She did not play. I have warned you. You are 16 damn years old. Figure it out.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. 8 years old different than 16 years old. Right.
Absolutely.
No, it ain't.
I mean,
it is. It is.
You treat them. It's not. The expectation of how much they retain and what level is a little different. Right.
Yeah.
Like he's 8. He actually forgets things. He's not always messing with me. 16. I mean, I remember how I was when I was 16. I pushed every boundary right up to the line and pulled back when I pissed my mom off.
Right,
that was the condition under which it was bad. Dad never got mad. Mom was scary.
Right.
Mom
but
was scary.
So one thing that I'm asking about. Okay, so y'all tell me. So I don't know if you know today, but your boy Elon Musk. I guess it was over the weekend. Your boy got fined $20 million. Had to step down as president. Still on the board. Had to step down as like CEO of Tesla.
Tesla specifically, yeah.
Specifically. And all because he said we secured some funding and they didn't have the funding. He put that out on Twitter, right?
Yeah. He made a statement that was powerful for investors.
Yeah, it provoked the market enough, right?
It provoked the market, which is considered they sued him over inside trading, essentially. He made the SEC mad. Don't do that.
Bro, they did it within a week.
Yeah,
like he tweeted it earlier in the week, and by the end of the week, deuces with a $20 million fee.
Pissed. Yeah, that's bad.
God, I wish we could do this with 45.
You just tweeted a thing. We gotta go. There's a lot of people. I got a list.
Yeah,
I got a list of people who need to stop tweeting.
You can still be Secretary of State or some shit. Like, we can go ahead and do that.
Can we just yeah. At least it's a quick turnaround. Like, I don't know. Like, I saw this news about the Tesla thing, and I looked at my husband, and because he's a money guy,
Right.
And I looked at him, and he's like, "That's some insider trading shit. There's no other way to say that." And I'm like, "Ooh, that was fast." SEC mad.
Well, the thing is, he had already upset people with smoking weed on Joe Rogan's podcast anyway. Which And you know why? They said because he has some federal contracts. And he's considered like a federal contractor. Yeah, I'm a federal employee, and so
am I, technically, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, like, I work in the rail industry and the FRA.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And they drug test us. They have to be able to.
Mark responded. He said, "While they were young, I offered no reasoning as to why I want something done. As they became cognizant, I did. I see way too many parents trying to reason and plead with their kids to do shit."
That's different. That's a different conversation. What I want and why
no.
is different than
plead.
Yeah, no, none of that.
No. This is the way that it is.
Right.
This is the way you should do it.
Yes.
Here's why you should do it.
Right.
That's completely different than, can you please just do it?
We're not negotiating, dude. It's
no, it's not. It's never a negotiation.
No.
And there are parents that are like that. I'm not one of those. I'm like my dad. My dad told me very early, like my dad was a third shifter, so he was never really around.
Nice. My mom.
Like, most days I'm on my way home from school. He's on his way out the door to go to work.
Yeah.
So it was different. And like, when I go to school and kids are talking about going and doing things with their parents and all of this kind of stuff. And I talked to my dad one day and I was like, why don't we do any of these things? And he said very plainly, because I'm not your friend.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not friends.
We're not friends.
We're not friends. We're never going to be friends. I'm always going to be your father. You're always going to be my child. There's always going to be that separation.
Yeah.
So like we don't get to hang out. Like, that's not how this works. I'm going to work
to pay for all this. Yeah.
To make sure that all of this stuff is paid for and that you don't ever need anything.
Right.
Of course, I'm not going to buy you everything you want, but you never need a thing.
That's what I literally had this conversation with my son not 2 weeks ago. Like, I always have your back. Always. Even when you do something stupid. You're still my kid. I still love you, right? But we are not buddies. Like, we're not gonna hang. Like, it's not the way it works. Yep. I'm your mom. Like, I'm in charge. My job is to raise you to be a good person. It's literally one of my job descriptions.
Yep, exactly. That's what I tell you.
Not to do everything you want to do, but to make you into a good man. That's part of my job. Like,
that's your description.
Seriously,
my whole job. Look, my whole job is to keep you off the pole. But you decided that the pole was the way that you wanted to go. It's my job. It's my job to get you dance classes. It's my job to
drive you there so that you don't have to walk through a shitty parking lot in the dark, right? Like,
right. And it's my job to make sure that you know how to sew, so you can make your own costumes. Sure. You know what I mean? Make sure that you know all of the uses for Velcro that there is.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's my job. Now, am I going to watch you do your job? Am I going to watch you do your job? Absolutely not. But I'm going to make sure that if you're going to do your job, you're going to do your job very well. Because if you decide to go to the pole, you are a headliner, lady. You are not just the chaff.
That's what it is. I will always have your back. It doesn't matter what you choose to do. Like, my son would always talk about, he's been talking about, Mom, I think I want to cut hair. Then do you, dude. I have your back. You know what I mean? I really do.
Okay.
But you will not be a shitty person. You will not in my house.
I had an experience a couple of weeks ago, and it shook me a little bit because my daughter is now like to the point where she's going to be in music, and she decided that she wanted to play the violin, and it broke me, and I was just like, I will support you no matter what you choose. You know, we marching band people, like, we are not about this violin life,
right?
But if this is what you really want to do, then
expensive to rent too.
Yeah, like, bruh. Is real.
Yep.
Like, it's so real. But then like, so, like, I wanted to say, I don't want to pay for this. Like,
sure, I don't understand this, so I don't want to support this. Like, yeah, how many parents are that parent? I don't want to be that parent.
But like, and then like, just like, I don't really understand Roblox. It's just not like something that I understand. Right. And she went on a rant one day. She was talking about some Minecraft stuff, and I was just kind of like,
yep.
And then she was like, "What? You're not even listening to me. You don't even like Minecraft." And I was like, "Here's the thing. I've never played Minecraft because back when I was younger and I played games when I was your age, people actually made whole games, and I didn't have to make my own fun. Someone made it for me."
I can literally hear my children's heads exploding from upstairs because they're Minecraft kids. They just are. And I tried. Look, I tried.
They probably grew out of it. Both mine grew out of it.
My son's playing Fortnite now. Like he wants to play some of the games that I play. Like he's getting to the age where it's like, is this appropriate for me?
Oh yeah, my 11-year-old came in and said, "Dad, can I play The Witcher 3?" I said, "Absolutely not." Yet.
How old? Not
He's
yet.
11. Yeah.
16, 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I did let my daughter play through Life is Strange, but she couldn't. No, there was this one part of Life is Strange, and I'm just so glad that she just didn't understand.
Good. That's always the best.
Yeah, she didn't understand. You know, there's a little bit of a spoiler.
Is this the first Life is Strange?
Yes.
Okay, we're good.
There's a young lady that commits suicide.
Yeah, Kate. Yeah, I will never forget that part.
Yeah, because of some.
Kate was going through some things, man.
It's never explicitly said, but like every adult understood what was happening there.
Mm-hmm.
She was sexually assaulted. But like she just didn't understand why she did it. And I was like, I am
good because I'm not ready to
explain this.
Yes.
But when you're 13 or 14, you might want to. And sometimes those are good tools to start
she keeps wanting to play the game again. And I'm just like,
2 more years. Then let her I feel like as a teenager, I want my daughter to play that one. Like I want to hold on to that one because there's a lot of stuff that those kids go through that's kind of real.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't shy away from the important topics in that one.
And
it's
a good. Sometimes games, if kids are invested, just like comic books were when we were kids, or whatever, movies or music, are good tools to get to the discussion. You know, so
right.
Oh, Mark responded again. Told my kids it's my job to make you better than me in every aspect.
I like that. That's true.
That's it. If you earn more, do more than I ever did, I will consider my job done.
I just want you to be a good person. I just want you to treat other people with respect.
Exactly.
My only rule for my daughter is basically form rules. Don't be a douche. Like you know what I mean?
Form rules.
Yes.
Don't double post. Like no double posting.
No double posting. Don't be a dick. Your form signature can only be 4 lines long. Come
exactly.
on now, you know? Right. But no, in all seriousness, I like treat other people with respect. I don't care about their background. I don't even care about how they treat you. Stand up for yourself, but like there needs to be respect. Like
absolutely.
There's rules that I think a lot of damn adults in this country don't follow right now that we could maybe start them young.
But I got to be careful what I say to my daughter because my daughter goes to school in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. That's
you know what I mean?
It's a tough city.
But she's in the county. But still,
it's still a tough. That's tough. Like my kids are in a South Jersey school, so it's one thing. If they were in Philly schools, it would probably be a little different. You know how we approach some of that stuff. And like I helped teach in some of the West Philly schools. Like it's different. It's just different. Yeah. It's actually probably closer to how I grew up in the part of Jersey that I was in. So
okay, word up. Well, I wanted to get into games, but we only got 3 minutes left.
We talked about eyebrows. It's all right.
No, we did get in on the eyebrows. So Elaine, man. So tell people, what are you doing now? Tell them when and where they can catch you during Extra Life.
All right. So it looks like November the 2nd, which I believe is a Friday, starting at 9 p.m., something like that. Twitch.tv/ETDragon. Follow me on Twitter too, because that's the best way to find out what the hell I'm doing in my nonsense life. It's also ET Dragon. We're going to play a whole bunch of games. My friend Leah and I, who I used to do a podcast with, are going to sit down in her apartment and eat pizza and make bad jokes. So get ready.
She still Improbable 42 on Twitter?
Yeah, she is. Improbable 42 on Twitter also. I'm really looking forward to doing that. And, if you want to get at me anytime, Twitter's the best first stop because that's where my stupid pumpkin spice butt lives these days. So,
listen, You don't drink much alcohol anymore, do you?
I don't drink it all anymore. It's been about 2 years.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it's been a while. I was gonna say, they make a lot of pumpkin spice beers around this time.
They do. I used to like those. My husband still buys them. But generally speaking, in my coffee and my alcohol, I did not want the pumpkin spice.
Okay.
I like coffee to be as strong as my dark heart at this point.
There is a line here. There is a line that
coffee is my line right now. Like, if it's not as dark as my soul, like I said at the beginning of the show, I got these kids, man. Okay, I need my coffee to be real strong. Okay?
I hit her up. She was like, "Look, I'm about to get this coffee. Then I'm gonna be in front of this machine." And
it's 8 p.m. I don't care. Yeah. I do not drink coffee to wake up. I drink coffee to not murder people. There's a very distinct line. Italian people can drink coffee at pretty much any point. It's the greatest stereotype, but the one that we definitely like.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Word up. Well, everybody, y'all check out Elaine because
like stereotypes I'm cool with.
No. Yeah, I know what you mean. Them eyebrows though. So
there it is. Oh, it's a good profile eyebrow.
So no, but y'all check out Elaine. I mean, she's always filled with antics during Extra Life. I mean, the year she played through Bayonetta 2 was ridiculous.
I'm a cat. I will never forget that.
So
she
great.
Gets really stupid at about 2 or 3 a.m. So if you haul her up,
right, click through and find her.
We're gonna do something dumb.
So. For sure. All right, Mike, your shout outs, mate.
Man, shout out to you for being here. Like, I really enjoyed this. I've heard you on many podcasts, and it was really nice to be able to put a face to the voice.
I had a blast. You guys are great. Like, these are my favorite types of shows where people can hang with jokes and dish them out and take them back.
Absolutely,
and it's all friendly.
Even though we cussed way more than normal. Like,
sorry.
I may drop one. Maybe 2 on a show. Like, it's supposed to be by accident, but not really.
It's not. It's never really.
I swear I can't actually control it anymore when my children are not around, and even then, it's like right on the line. So I apologize.
No, you all good. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to apologize. This show is rated mature because Mike is my co-host, so don't worry about
that. Okay. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, if I was all the way me, it would be NC-17. You know what I mean? Like, it would be real.
I know.
In here, but no. Shout out to the people. The people here and all of the other podcasts that I'm on. It's all in the show notes. And then for Extra Life, I'm trying my hardest to do Extra Life with Chase. Maybe only for one day. Instead of doing 24 straight, he's doing 2 12s.
That's smart. That's much smart.
That is smart.
Yeah, he's doing 8 to 8 on Saturday and Sunday. But part of the reason why I'm kind of wanting to be down there is because I want to go to a band battle that Friday. It's in Greensboro. I'm going to A&T. I'm trying to go to A&T for this band battle, and then I'm trying to spend some time with Chase on Saturday, and then I'll just drive back on Sunday.
Nice.
Okay. Word up. Well, shout outs to Elaine. Thank you so much for dropping in. Look,
I had a blast. It's great.
Always fun. I told you we were gonna be agenda free because I know you and Mike. Y'all can just go on whatever. So shout outs there. Shout outs to Mark for joining us live in the chat, man. Really appreciate it.
I can't pull that off. It's unfortunate.
It's okay. We'll get you there. I promise. We'll start with the eyebrows and we'll work our way back.
Got it. Yeah.
All right. All right. And shout out to Quiglin. He's here. He said, "Is it me or is there a delay?" I guess I must have missed all his chats because there may be a delay in some of the chats or whatever. Because I think this came from Twitch, and I'm just not getting it. So Quiglin, it's probably a delay on my end.
No, bruh. Always go to the straight up feed on YouTube. It's the best place. Not the one with all of the fancy what's and others.
Yeah.
Go to the straight up feed. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do out here.
So Elaine, if you don't know, for all 140 or 137 episodes, Mike has been a co-host. He has interrupted my shout outs every single time.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure that this happens forever. Like, if this doesn't keep happening, I'm going to be heartbroken.
Right.
It has to.
But that's really. But look, man. Look,
we ain't talk games, but shout out to Rock Band, yo. I see those guitars in the back.
It's in the back. I got them.
Yeah, look, mine are literally right behind me.
See, we both live that life. I saw those drums. They're there. Yep, there you go. See?
Look at that. So I got a confession. I've never owned a music game outside of DJ Hero 1 and 2.
DJ Hero is good.
I own DJ Hero and I've never played it.
Dude,
son.
DJ Hero is good.
Yes,
it is legit. Bring back DJ Hero, but make it better.
Yes.
I bought the DJ Hero 2 in Big Lots for like $20.
Yeah, it went on some deep.
I was like, yo, I got $20. They had the Tony Hawk joint, but at the time I was 330 pounds, and I'm like,
you know what? No one needed that game.
That plastic ain't reinforced enough. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I will tell you this. So Elaine, I have both DJ Heroes. Why is it that the second DJ Hero turntable was of a lower quality than the first one.
I didn't buy that when I had the first one. I just picked up the second game. Like, I just didn't. I'm not surprised.
I did the opposite, and then I never played the game.
Oh,
I went back and bought the first game.
Oh, they're so good.
They're good, man. DJ Heroes legit.
I have my 360 still hooked up, so now I'm gonna make a dumb decision later.
Hey, Extra Life though.
That's tempting. That's yeah. You know what? That's very well. Let me see if I can make something happen for that, man. I love those games.
Yeah. So everybody, thank you so much for listening and or watching Facetious 141. Look, Elaine, I'd love to have you on here. May have to have you back on the game.
Yes, please.
Here. This is greatness. I know you don't podcast as much anymore, and the internet is worse off for it.
Oh,
have you correlated the fact that since you left the internet, it's gotten a whole lot worse?
I thought that was the presidency, but maybe I was wrong.
I mean, I thought it
was politics. No, you know what? You're right. I need to do a public service. This week has definitely reminded me how much I miss doing this. So thank you so much for having me.
For sure. But everybody, please leave a review if you listen to us. Give us 5 stars on wherever you tend to listen to your shows. Remember, go check out Elaine during Extra Life. Go check out Mike and Chase during Extra Life. Check out your boy Quiglin, who's just here in the chat with us as well during Extra Life. I'm actually gonna try to do some Extra Life. I do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I try to get 10 hours in on Saturday. I do 8 and then 6 on Friday and then 6 on Sunday. So that's what I try to get done. But we'll see. So everybody, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back in your ears, in front of your eyeballs again next week. Peace out to the Warriors.
Peace out to the Warriors. Samson Simpson, where you at, B?